You know what, you guys, as my viewers and subscribers, I'll tell you this, you guys always come up with great questions down in the comments, and that's really the source of this video. I get a lot of questions from people watching and asking, is the Lowrider ST a good beginner motorcycle? And that's what I want us to talk about today. Hey everyone, my name is Ty and welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you joining me today. So as I just mentioned, we're going to be talking about this Lowrider ST. Is it a good beginner motorcycle, or should you be eyeballing something else? Well, if you are a novice motorcycle rider, maybe you're shopping around for your first big cruiser or Softail, or maybe you're shopping around for your first Harley-Davidson. That's what I want to talk about today. And there's a couple of factors I think that are very important as you consider this motorcycle, the Lowrider ST, for maybe your first bike. And the very first thing that comes to mind is price. You know, you can't really have the Lowrider ST unless you buy the Lowrider ST. So this motorcycle, right off of Harley-Davidson's website, comes in at right around, if I'm remembering this correctly, $21,749. I think that is probably pretty close. So you have to factor that, keep that in mind. Do you want to make that type of investment for your first motorcycle? Now, if you get that motorcycle, this Lowrider ST, and you pay that $22,000, of course, let's not kid ourselves. There are some things that you are going to absolutely want to do to the motorcycle. Now, what are some of those? Probably, if I had to guess, you're going to want to do something with the bars. You're probably going to want to do something with the exhaust and get rid of that Harley stock sound. Maybe the seat. I don't know. I would factor in probably another $1,000 to $2,000 for some of those first upgrades right from the start. So cost and finance, a big factor to consider. Let's also talk about the type of riding that you're going to be doing. Big factor here. Are you primarily just going to be commuting to and from work? Are you going to be doing weekend trips and weekend jaunts, like all day riding on a Saturday, all day riding on a Sunday? Or do you want to do touring? Now, don't let anyone kid you. With a few modifications, you can absolutely tour on the Lowrider ST. I believe that. I've seen other people do it. I haven't yet, but that time is most definitely coming. But I'm speaking from experience when I tell you that the Lowrider ST and the touring models, they're just a little different. They ride different, they feel different, they're designed to do different things. But yes, you can absolutely tour on a Lowrider ST. So really, no matter what type of riding that you're going to be doing on your motorcycle, whether it's commuting, and you know, that's probably the majority of my riding at this point. I commute to and from to work. You know, maybe I'll ride the bike a couple of times a week, and then it's you know, weekend trips with my bros and that type of thing. So a few factors to consider as we keep going here. How's it going? Something else to consider when you're thinking about getting your first big boy motorcycle is how much power do you want the bike to have? The answer to that question is probably going to be a lot, like most people. But do you think that you will be able to handle the Milwaukee 8 117? From my experience with the Milwaukee 8 117, the answer to that question is probably yes. You're going to be able to handle it just fine. The great thing about the 117 is you've got room to grow with it. When you first start out, you're probably not going to be maxing out the engine. You're probably not going to be maxing out the engine, period. But anyway, you are going to be able to have plenty of power no matter where you go or what type of riding that you have to do. Now, one of the reasons that I draw a little experience from this is that my first major motorcycle, my first cruiser or bagger, was a Yamaha V-Star 650, a 650. Now, I very quickly outgrew that and went to a Yamaha Roadstar 1800. And I still remember getting on that motorcycle for the first time and thinking, God, this thing's got so much power, and it did. It was a really fast bike, but I got through that 650 really quick and wanted something else. And you might find yourself in the exact same situation, that if you get a smaller motorcycle, you might want something bigger really, really quick. So keep that in mind if you're shopping for a lower CC type of engine. Now, one of the things that I would caution you on if you're a new rider is that the Milwaukee 8117 in this small frame of a motorcycle, man, it can be potentially deadly. And by that, I mean you've really just got to exercise a bit of self-restraint when it comes to this, and self-discipline. And if you're a new rider, know your limitations. That's probably the biggest piece of advice that I could give you. Know your limitations and don't exceed them. So if you get a motorcycle like this, and the 117 has got so much power, that doesn't mean that you have to use it. Stay within your comfort zone and how you like to ride. And you know, if this motorcycle, if you're the type of personality and you think, nah, there's no way I can exercise self-restraint, and you're still a new rider, yeah, then I would recommend you stay away from the Lowrider ST. But if you've got some self-restraint and you want to be able to grow with the motorcycle and learn as you grow, I think this would be a perfect motorcycle to start with. Well, I very much appreciate your time hanging out with me today as we talk about this Lowrider ST. And especially if you're thinking about getting a Lowrider ST, or you're a novice rider and you already have one, let me know in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts and your feelings about the motorcycle. I'd love to be able to hear about it. And then if you're a seasoned rider and you're thinking about getting the Lowrider ST, let's just talk motorcycles. Put something down there in the comments, and let's get a conversation going. So if you guys would, please hit that thumbs up and show your support for the channel. If you would, leave me a comment. It could be, you know, it could be anything. It could be emoji, thumbs up, whatever. Just put something down there in that comment. I would appreciate it very, very much. I hope you guys have an excellent day, and we'll talk to you again soon.